call.
Jaxson hands it to Henry.
High ball's out. Picked up by the Lions. They've got it inside the 20-yard line. DJ Reed with the football in his hands. The Lions stripped it away from Derrick Henry. What a big turn of events, and the Lions have got it now.
A critical moment there, fourth quarter fumble from Henry, his second of the season. He did it in the opener against Buffalo. In his first 9 years, he fumbled just twice in the fourth quarter on 595 carries. He has 2 on 10 carries this season. We'll have much more on this game as we continue. But let's run around the league a little bit here with a game of Are You Convinced? Hey, Saturday, are you convinced that Caleb Williams and the Bears offense is fixed after their performance against the Cowboys?
Well, the Cowboys defense fixes a lot of ails. So we could start there. But I will say I am encouraged. I am encouraged with Ben Johnson, with Caleb Williams. The progression is going week to week. Fixed. They don't have a running game. There's some things they still. But with Caleb and Ben Johnson, they are getting better every week. That's what you want to see if you're a Bears fan.
I'm with you. We'll talk more about them a little later. Neek, let's go to the Steelers. Are you convinced that Pittsburgh's defense is fixed after forcing 5 turnovers against the Patriots?
I mean, I know this sounds a little counterintuitive after 5 turnovers, but the answer is no. Like, creating 4 fumbles and 1 interception, while it felt like the Patriots aren't a great offense, could move the ball at will, it didn't seem like we still aren't quite at that Pittsburgh Steelers defense that we expect.
Yeah, that felt more like a game that the Patriots lost than one that the Steelers
100%.
won. The last one is going to be for Graziano. I'm going to ask him about Jaxson Dart, but I want you to hear before we get into it what the coach said yesterday. So this was Brian Daboll, head coach of the Giants, an interaction with a reporter yesterday after his team fell to 0-3.
We're working through, all personnel decisions, and we'll do that over the next few days.
You're not saying Russ is the starter, right? You're saying you're still working through that?
Yeah, we're doing what we normally do, which is watch the tape. We're just watching it with the players right now.
When you say what you normally do, most Monday afternoons, you know who your quarterback's going to be the upcoming week if everyone's healthy, though. It just seems a little different, your responses.
Yeah, well, look, we're going through the tape right now. We're evaluating everything.
So quarterback change is on the table.
I'd say we're evaluating everything.
So with that ringing endorsement still in our ears, Graziano, are you convinced the Giants should make the move to Jaxson Dart?
I am. I think, and you talk about watching the tape, Russell Wilson was not good against the Chiefs on Sunday. And not only was he not good, but, I mean, he was throwing the ball into the stands. He was throwing it into the tunnel when they got in close. It just feels like this is a guy that doesn't have an answer when there's pressure in his face. Obviously, he lit up the Cowboys, but we already discussed that. I think Jaxson Dart gives them something more at this point, maybe his ability to escape pressure, whatever it is. But I think we're at a point now where it's very clear that Russell's not the answer.
So the sequence he's talking about, you may not have stayed up late Sunday night to watch it. At the end of the game against Kansas City, they still have a chance.
Yeah.
And they give a first down there in the scoring area. And, Jeff, we'll show some of these plays here. You were, I don't want to put words in your mouth, sort of outraged by this.
Yeah.
Right?
This is, for a seasoned vet like Russ, this can't happen. And this is what Daboll is going to take up to the front when he decides he wants to make the change. First of all, you can't throw a ball so far out of bounds that you get a intentional grounding. Now you're holding the ball, you throw it again over the goalpost. A little pressure there. Okay, so let's move it off.
Fourth down,
right? And you are. What in the world are you doing? Like you regardless of result, you've got to give somebody a chance to make the catch. So that is an indictment on his play, because that's what Daboll will use in the locker room and to the front office of why they're making the change. Russ isn't doing this. Let me say this, though. What I did not love, it made me uncomfortable. Malik Neighbors afterwards gets interviewed, and he talks about it ain't the quarterback. It wasn't Daniel Jones last year. It's not the quarterback right now. That's a problem, because that's an indictment towards the play calling and how the organization is being run. It ain't got to do. So he's not giving like a ringing endorsement. If you go Jaxson Dart, everything's going to be fixed, and you're basically putting a quarterback out there to save your gig, as opposed to for the reason that is not a pretty look.
The turn down of the DAP is looking worse and worse as we move forward. I think that's a good point, but I do think that those plays that you showed, like if you're in the locker room, it's really hard to go back out the next week and feel good about yourself. So I think that's the part that pushes against, because like this is my career too, and I understand that you want to protect Jaxson Dart and you want to put him out there when he is most well prepared, but you can't have me keep going out there, putting my career on the line in a situation where we're not even trying. Like these plays, we're not trying.
Right.
And even if it doesn't get better, if a rookie quarterback is doing this, at least you can kind of understand it. Russell's in year 14. Like this is the thing that's definitely not supposed to happen.
That's as ugly as it
When you
gets.
say that, like guys in the locker room, my career, like selfishly for my career, I'll be on the call, Giants versus Saints 2 weeks from now. I'm hoping they wait till then to put Jaxson on there so we could be the one to But to your point, when you're watching that, and I think red zone offense for quarterbacks are probably one of the biggest challenges of being able to execute. So to what you're saying, Gross, if Russ can't do it and he looks that bad at it, it's not just this game. It's been the entire season in the red zone. You can go back to last year with the Steelers as well. You might as well give Jaxson Dart, because if I'm in that locker room and I'm Malik Neighbors, because to Neighbors' point, you say those things because you're trying to protect Russell Wilson, the quarterback out there. You don't want to throw him under the bus. But there's hope. If Jaxson Dart comes in, guys in the locker room are like, all right, we have a different chance now to be a good football team.
And J-Mac, you're making a great point. Here's the thing for aging quarterbacks and, quote, bridge quarterbacks, right, is they become risk adverse. And the problem for you as a football team is you're not good enough to be risk averse. You got to let it rip. And when you get the situation where you're in the red zone, at some point, put the ball in harm's way, because the quote gunslinging type quarterbacks that get out there and do it, that's what Jaxson Dart was going to do. He's going to come in there and make it happen, you know?
That's unbelievable, that Hembo stat.
He has a 0.8 QBR in the red zone this year, Russell Wilson, which is on a scale from 0 to 100. It's about as bad as can be.
I get the desperation right now and the panic that you feel, and we want to start Jaxson Dart. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but you have to understand that once you press that red button in week 4, you ain't got no more button to press when you lose 4 in a row and it's week 10.
You got Jameis.
The Jameis button?
The Jameis button.
You can't push the red one and then the double panic for
Jameis will go try to make a play, though.
I like it. He'll let it rip. He'll let it rip.
Throwing it into the tunnel.
I actually don't think it's a terrible idea. If you don't think Jaxson Dart is ready to go,
let him go.
And Russell Wilson clearly can't do it. Put Jameis out there. It can't get
You're going to have
worse.
fun.
Don't put Dart out there if he's not ready. That's definitely
run defense. I mean, we didn't, as a defense complete, we didn't do it. And that's not going to be good enough. There's nobody in that locker room that thinks that's good enough. That's disappointing. That's bad run defense. And that's not who we are. It cannot be who we are. It's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be acceptable. And it's got to be better.
So, I mean, here are the numbers. We've made so much fun of the Cowboys defense, and I take back none of that. But the numbers say that through 3 weeks, the Ravens have been worse. They're dead last in total defense, allowing 415 yards a game, 31st in points allowed, and 32 points allowed per game. Now, early in the season, that gets a little skewed, right? They've played Buffalo and they've played Detroit. That might be the 2 highest scoring teams in the NFL when it's all said and done.
And they're banged up front. Nnamdi Madubuike, one of their best defenders, especially on the interior, has not been playing. Kyle Van Noy, who's one of their top pass rushers. So, yeah, they're banged up front.